Greetings, and welcome to the Clippers and Shears podcast. We're glad to have you with us. In today's episode, we are going to dive into the fascinating topic of barbering versus hairstyling, key differences and similarities. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're tuning in from. Whether you're here in person, watching this as a recording, or sitting in a break room between clients, I want to start by saying one thing. Today we begin a journey, a deep, respectful, educational, and inspirational journey into two worlds that are more alike than many know, and more different than most realize. Barbering and hairstyling, not as a competition, but as a comparison, a study, a celebration. So let's start at the only place that makes sense to start. Let me take you back to a time when hair wasn't just about fashion, it was about status, spirituality, and survival. Barbering, as a profession, dates back more than 5,000 years. The earliest barbers were found in ancient Egypt. These weren't just haircutters, they were priests, they were surgeons, they were healers. Cutting hair was a ritual. Shaving a priest's head clean wasn't just for sanitation, it was symbolic. It marked them as pure, as clean, as ready to serve the divine. Later, in ancient Greece, the barbershop became a public square of intellect. Men gathered not only for trims and beard shaping, but for philosophy, politics, storytelling. And then Rome. In Rome, the barbershop became a daily ritual. The Roman tonsors were a part of every gentleman's routine. A fresh shave, a sharp cut. That was how you showed discipline. It was how you showed class. And in medieval Europe, barbers evolved again. Not just groomers, but barber surgeons. Yes, barber surgeons. Let that sink in. If you've ever wondered why the barber pole is red, white, and sometimes blue, it's because barbers used to perform bloodletting. The red symbolizes blood, the white, bandages. The pole itself, it represents the stick the patient gripped while they were being bled. Gruesome? Maybe. Fascinating? Absolutely. Barbers were healers, community men, practitioners of hygiene, holders of trust. Now let's talk about hairstyling, where barbering developed as a masculine, functional, and sometimes medical practice. Hairstyling blossomed in the courts, among royalty, nobility, and artists. In 17th and 18th century France, hairstyling reached new heights, literally. You've seen the paintings, the powdered wigs, the massive bouffants, the towering hairpieces with ships, birds, and flowers built into them. These styles required artisans, visionaries, people who could mold hair the way a sculptor molds marble. And for those clients, hair wasn't about hygiene. It was about fashion, status, and expression. Fast forward to the 1920s, and we see the birth of the modern hairstylist as we know them. The bob haircut became a political statement. Short hair on women was scandalous, bold, and revolutionary. Hairstyling became an expression of independence, empowerment, liberation. In the decades that followed, hairstyling moved in sync with social change. The beehive of the 60s, the punk spikes of the 80s, the beach waves of the 2000s. Wherever society went, hairstyling followed, and often, it led. Barbering, historically, has been male-oriented. Its services catered to men. Its training focused on men's haircuts, and its culture, often built around male camaraderie, masculinity, and tradition. Hairstyling, on the other hand, has long been associated with femininity, fashion, and flair. Most clients were women. Most techniques were designed around women's hair layering, coloring, curling, styling. But here's what's happening in the modern world. That line is blurring, and thank goodness it is. More barbers are styling. More stylists are cutting fades. More clients, regardless of gender, are seeking both grooming and creativity. We are moving into a world where skill matters more than stereotype. But to truly understand and respect both crafts, we must acknowledge the distinct paths they've traveled. Now, let's revisit the barbershop not just as a workplace, but as a cultural cornerstone. In Black and Latino communities, the barbershop has always been more than a grooming space. It's a place of laughter, storytelling, mentorship, and healing. It's where fathers bring their sons for their first cut, where teenagers talk about dreams, where elders share history. The barber in these communities is not just a service provider. He is a cultural elder, a role model, a gatekeeper of style and pride. The haircut, that's only part of the experience. The trust, the bond, the confidence you leave with, that's the real service. And now, the salon. Where the barbershop is a space of bonding and maintenance, the salon is a place of transformation. Clients come in feeling one way and leave feeling completely different. Stylists are often counselors. They hear it all: relationships, losses, dreams, fears, and through their work, they help clients reinvent themselves. a new look, a bold color, a fresh start. Salons have historically been safe havens for women, places to talk freely, to build sisterhood, to discover confidence. And today, salons serve everyone, regardless of gender. But they continue to be spaces where personal expression thrives. Despite all their differences, history, gender roles, environments, barbering and hairstyling share one unbreakable thread. At the heart of both crafts is the desire to help others feel better, look better, walk taller. It's about confidence. It's about precision. It's about care. Whether you're lining up a taper fade or executing a perfect balayage, you're doing more than hair, you're practicing human connection. As we move forward in this series, we're going to get specific. We'll look at tools of the trade, techniques and skill sets, the science of hair, business models, the psychology of the client, and the future of both industries. But let me leave you today with this. Barbers and hairstylists are artists, therapists, technicians, trendsetters. They don't just shape hair, they shape lives. So whether you hold a clipper or a color brush, respect the craft, respect the history, and most of all, respect each other. Today, we talk tools, the instruments of our art, the extensions of our hands, the gear that defines how we work, what we offer, and the type of artist we become. Whether you're behind the chair as a barber or a stylist, there's something sacred about your tools. And understanding the differences and similarities between barber and hairstyling equipment tells us everything about the nature of each craft. Barbering is all about efficiency with precision. A barber's goal is often to deliver a clean, consistent result quickly and with detail. And for that, the tools must be direct, sharp, effective. Let's break it down. Clippers are the barber's paintbrush and sword all in one. Adjustable blade clippers are used for the bulk of the haircut. They remove length, shape the sides, define the fade. Detachable blade clippers, like the Oyster 76, allow for fast head shaves or consistent, guard-based cuts. Guards and comb attachments provide quick length control. Mastery of clippers, knowing the sound of the motor, the feel of the blade, is essential to barbering. These define the sharp lines, the lineup, the sideburn, the nape, the beard outline. The sound of a T-outliner buzzing next to your ear? That's the signature of a master barber. The straight razor is a symbol, a tool that defines tradition, used for hot towel shaves, for precise beard shaping, for cleaning necklines with surgical sharpness. A barber doesn't just use a razor, they honor it. Barbering uses classic post-cut rituals, talc on the neckline, bay rum aftershave splash, astringent tonics. These aren't just aesthetic, they're hygienic, refreshing, and part of the full barbershop experience. Now let's step into the stylist's toolbox, where barbering tools are designed for precision and speed. Hairstyling tools are about versatility and control over texture, shape, and flow. Yes, barbers use shears, but stylists live by them. Blunt shears for clean, straight cuts. Texturizing or thinning shears to remove bulk, blend layers. Curved or specialty scissors for advanced effects. Shears allow for layering, shaping, feathering, and creating movement. In a stylist's hands, the blow dryer becomes a sculpting tool, paired with round brushes for volume and curl, with a paddle brush for sleek, smooth finishes, with diffusers for natural curls and coils. Where barbers may use clippers to define shape, stylists use heat and airflow to create structure and style. Styling is about versatility, creating waves, straightening coils, adding bounce to limp hair. These tools allow for rapid transformation, a key part of the salon experience. Where barbers focus on the canvas, stylists often paint on it. Hair colorists use tint brushes for all-over color, foils for highlights and lowlights, balayage boards for hand-painted gradients. These tools require a knowledge of chemistry and visual balance. Now let's look at the common ground. Tools both barbers and stylists use daily. Barbers favor clipper combs, taper combs, and fade brushes. Stylists use tail combs, sectioning combs, and vent brushes. But every artist, regardless of title, knows that the right comb makes or breaks the cut. Both sides use products, just with different purposes. Barbers: pomades, waxes, sprays, and beard oils. Stylists: serums, heat protectants, texture sprays, mousse. What differs is the intent. Barbers want hold, shape, and definition. Stylists want flexibility, softness, and style memory. We all use barberside jars, clipperside, towels, and neck strips, capes, gloves, aprons. Clean tools equals clean clients equals respect for the craft. Here's where it gets deep. Tools are not just objects, they're philosophy. A barber's kit is streamlined, optimized for repetition, and precision. A stylist's arsenal is diverse, designed for variation and transformation. Think about this. A barber might do 15 cuts a day, each one involving clipper control, edge detailing, beard shaping, and skin exposure. A stylist might do 5 clients a day. Each one could involve full color, a cut, heat styling, deep conditioning, and chemical care. So the tools are built to match the pacing, the pressure, and the personalization of the work. Here's what's exciting today. More barbers are picking up color bowls. More stylists are learning the 1.5 fade. And with that, we're seeing a fusion of kits. Hybrid professionals are using shears to detail fades, using clippers to undercut long layers, styling beards and balayaging bangs. This hybridization is transforming not just technique but tool design. New brands are creating tools that blend both sides. Cordless clippers with adjustable guards, shears built for thick, short men's hair, beard color kits for stylists and barbers. The old divide is fading. A new generation is rising. Let me say this plainly. Your tools are your signature. They tell your client what you value. They reflect your attention to detail. They represent your training, your taste, and your technique. Whether it's a $400 clipper or a $40 flat iron, when you respect your tools, clean them, learn them, maintain them, you elevate the entire profession. Never forget, Michelangelo used a chisel, Picasso used a brush, you use blades and heat and combs. You are no less an artist. So now, my fellow artists, we know this. Barbering tools and hairstyling tools are not in conflict. They're simply expressions of different priorities. One leans into structure and speed, the other into style and transformation. But both are tools of confidence, and in the right hands, tools of magic. Tools are the beginning, but tools without technique, that's like a piano with no music, a brush with no color, a blade with no rhythm. Today we dive into the moves, the methods, and the mastery that separate and connect barbering and hairstyling. We're talking fades and foils, tapers and texture, razors and rollers. This is where muscle memory meets creative instinct. This is where the magic lives. Barbering is built around structure, symmetry, and consistency. A good barber doesn't just give a good cut, they give the same good cut every time the client sits down.
Career growth and specialization. Once you're licensed, the real journey begins. Let's look at how both paths offer unique and overlapping career options. Barbering career paths. Barbers can choose to work in or open a barbershop, specialize in fade and detail work, become a celebrity or touring barber, offer VIP and mobile grooming services, create and market product lines for men's hair care or beards, become barber educators or school owners. The barbering world often emphasizes branding and clientele loyalty. A barber's name becomes their business card. Some barbers even expand into men's skincare, apparel and merchandise, YouTube or social media content. Barbering allows for deep niche specialization, perfecting a few things to the point of mastery. Hairstyling/cosmetology career paths. Stylists can explore a broader range of opportunities. Work in a salon, spa, or high-end studio. Specialize in color correction, bridal styling, extensions, curly hair, textured and natural hair. Become a platform artist or brand educator. Go freelance or open a full-service salon. Train to be a licensed instructor. The possibilities are vast and often evolve with fashion, trends, and product technology. Many stylists also branch into editorial and runway styling, film and television hair departments, product formulation or consulting, coaching or business mentorship. Cosmetology offers a wide-angle lens career, great for those who want to do a bit of everything or pivot across beauty sectors. Continuing education, the lifelong classroom. Here's the truth. School never really ends in this industry. Both barbers and stylists must stay educated to remain competitive. You've got faux trade shows like Bronner Bros, IBS, Premiere, masterclasses with top educators, online certifications, blow dry, color, precision cutting, brand training from product companies, social media learning, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Whether it's learning new fade techniques or color theory, growth equals longevity. The best pros are the ones who never stop learning. Barbers becoming stylists, and vice versa. What happens if a barber wants to learn color? Or if a stylist wants to use a straight razor? The answer is additional licensing. Many professionals today pursue dual licensure. A barber might go back and complete a cosmetology crossover course. A stylist might enroll in a barbering program for advanced shaving or clipper skills. This hybrid skill set increases service range, earning potential, job flexibility, client base, and with more clients seeking inclusive services and fewer barriers between genders, having both licenses can be a major edge in the modern beauty world. Mindset and work ethic. Let's not forget the intangibles, the traits that turn training into transformation. Whether barber or stylist, you must bring discipline, time management, punctuality, attention to detail, creativity, seeing the vision before it's real, empathy, reading the client's mood, building trust, business sense, marketing, scheduling, client retention, passion. The fuel that keeps you growing. A license gets you through the door, but these traits, these build your reputation. Summary of differences and similarities. Category: barbering, hairstyling / cosmetology, hours. Required 800-1,000, 500, 1,000 to 2,000 plus. Main focus: men's hair, short styles, shaving color. Styling: chemical services, tools, clippers, razors, shears, brushes, heat tools, career flexibility, niche, loyal clientele abroad, diverse services, facial hair services. Yes, no, usually, color and chemicals. Usually not unless dual licensed, yes. Skin and nails minimal. Included in many programs. Crossover potential, yes. With additional licensing. Yes, with additional licensing. So whether you're mastering the art of the straight razor or the alchemy of color correction, your journey starts with education, but it doesn't end there. Your license is your passport, but your curiosity is your fuel. Barber or stylist, you're not just learning a skill, you're stepping into a craft, you're building a future. And the more you invest in your training, your mindset, and your growth, the more powerful your career becomes. That's all for today's deep cut into part 1 of the key differences and similarities of barbering and hairstyling. Tune in next time for part 2. A huge thank you to our amazing community for joining us. Keep those scissors sharp and your creativity sharper. We'll be back soon with more on the Clippers and Shears podcast. Take care.